So we are just here that how we can understand that the system of Ayurveda is different from the allopathic systems. That is by understanding the constitutional difference. That here the constitutions are totally depends upon the cosmic constitutions. So the environment from where we made out of imbalance to those all is reflects our health and disease. Therefore, treatments or the medicines, their basic ingredient and constituents also depends upon that same relationships. So proceeding to the next visions that during our clinical practice, what we should think or how we should think, that being it is correlated with the Pinda and Brahmanda. So in the Brahmanda, in the external worlds, three things are most important. That is Surya, Chandra, and the dispersion takes place because of the Vayu. Therefore, the principle is here, Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. We should not forget any times. This is good. But beyond to that, of course, we will not forget Vata, Pitta, Kapha. But what are the Vata, Pitta, Kapha? Some people speak Vata is the ketones, Vata, Pitta is the arachidonic acid, and Kapha is the disaccharide. Some people speak Vata is proteins, Pitta is fat, Kapha is carbohydrate. Some other people say Vata is nothing but the force or movements or carry, and Pitta is responsible for the reactions, Kapha is for the assimilations. Some other people speak something differently. That is like Vata is the neurohormones like acetylcholines, Pitta is the catecholamine, Kapha is the histamines. And some other group of peoples in the same system of Ayurveda speaks that tridosas are humor. Now questions comes, vitreous humor is a liquid. Is Vata dosa is liquid? So there are so many things to understand that it is the science as a whole, not by its bit or by respecting the bit concepts or a partial concept of Ayurveda. We create the whole, and usi gadha mein that create a whole where we cannot understand. So we are unable to make a bridge of the concept to the application, principle to the practice. So even the teachings cannot reach to the technology. And therefore, our teaching remains stagnant inside the systems, and we unable to answer the questions of the patient. That if emergency is still okay, emergency diseases are 2%, but rest other like 10% of the minor illness or more than around 50% people are suffering. Sometimes non-communicable diseases, or sometimes more than that too. So those all area Ayurveda could be expert enough to answer the questions, because entire gamut of the medical systems, including Ayurveda or other systems too, target is to give a solutions to the problems. But being we unable to connect those, therefore we face the problem in its applications. One example I will take from your science laboratory, where you did the electrode connections, then the water electrolytes, that how the anode and cathode get deposited by the ion. On that experiment, you can recall that the water level remains same, even though the ionic changes are going on. So this is the statement of Ayurveda. Purnamadaha Purnamida Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamiva Avasisyate. So this nonlinear system, what I was just discussing on, that here everything is complete. If you take something out of the systems, then other things make a balance there. And that times we have to check the quality. And not only quality, the value inside the quality is more important than the quality. So might be quality in our hand, qualitative medicines is in our hand, but the person has not taken proper combinations, not taken in the proper times, then the value inside the quality we lose. Therefore, it is essential that how those medicines works. How this ahara can be a medicine. So taking the reference from Bhagavad Gita, Gama Vischacha Bhutani Dharayami Aham Ojasa Pusnami Chausadhi Sarva Soma Bhutva Rasayanam. So it is the Swayambhu, it is myself. So Bhagavad Gita, Krishna introduced himself that it is myself enter into the soil, from the soil, through the plants, I reach to the ahara, and those ahara is creating ojas in the whole creatures. So what is, we know ojas is ausada. Mostly people translate ausada means medicines. Ausada means osa iti rasa, rasa iti oja. And that is coming from the ultimate source of Lord or God. Whosoever. I am not translating that into a particular system of God in a particular religions. So that force is again taken in Upanishads too. So in Upanishads, that has written that Isavasyam idam sarvam. So this sarvam jagatam is Isavasyam. It is created by me and you are nothing else. I am the pioneer of everything, providing everything to you. You just maintain those things. You are the maintainers and you are meant just for the unfolding consciousness to the next level of upgradations. So you can take all these examples here in the medicine systems. When you are entering the systems, observing all this dilemma, all these confusions in the concept and understandings, definitely graduates will be get confused. That the understanding is not possible. How I can reach the level of Jagat Guru? How the medicines can be a Jagat Guru? How I can work for the Vasudhaiva Kutumbakams? How I can take these principles? So it is the so-called big science bombarding on the concepts and starting seeming to insignificant. If you will change your label, if you will change your text. So it needs a powerful intentions to unfold. So it is highly essential that how we can take the local things, how we can upgrade the local things, how we can take bring a scientific approach to our understandings and putting full confidential step when we are entering into our college. So when we are entering the college with a full confidence of understandings, that might be the other people's confused, but I will not get confused. So I'll take all the responsibility with the self-understanding, self-notifications, self-motivations, self-explanations, and I can become independent on these applications. So one idea of Ayurveda, taking into a nationalistic, revolutionary unfoldings, and that can give a good name of to your college, to your science. And therefore, my sincere request that start to make your own story of blanket. And though वही पुराना blanket, उसी बक्सा में कभी नहीं भूलने का. You may reach to any level of upgradations. Because जो पुराना blanket explain or give the sustainable consciousness to you and become a working force trap or help to you always. Rather, if you start to dance with the others' musics, with the music of other contemporary medicines, I sometimes make a joke. वो जो शेर जो सर्कस में नाचता है, so शेर होते हुए भी उसका सर्कस में नाचना पड़ता है. Same way, if you will unfocus to your applications, then you will be definitely dance with the music of other people's, and you cannot enjoy exact applications of Ayurveda. And therefore, this is the first point to learn before the missions to start, that I may lose some friends. Therefore, you can see the big peoples, big pioneers or entrepreneurs, they have fewer friends. So you are not here in the earth to search the friends. God has just sent with unique idea, with uniqueness, and you have to do such unfoldments, and your karma, your job, your responsibility is actually a sign of image to the other peoples. आपने देखा होगा पिक्चर में कुछ हेयर स्टाइल में आ गया तो सब लोग वही हेयर स्टाइल करने लगते हैं. तो आप ऐसा कुछ काम करो जो सब लोग फॉलो करेंगे. Therefore, the mission number 1, हमें क्या करना चाहिए? So up to this, I discussed some points related to the custodian peoples around to us. Now, point is that what we should do. So mission number 1 is when you are getting Brahma Muhurta Uttishta. What is Brahma Muhurta Uttishta? That is 45 minutes into 90 minutes before the sunrise. That times you should get out of your bed. Now you can ask the question, why? Because this is Apana Kala. Why? Because this is Saraswati Jama. Why? Because that times photosynthesis started, and that times the respirations started. Before the respiration and photosynthesis, there's a time of exchange of the power. Activations, the carbon dioxide reduces, oxygen increases, and that's the right time to get off. And each and every Ayurveda graduates, आंख खोला तो देखना चाहिए मेडिसिनल प्लांट का गार्डन. सुबह उठ के कान खोला तो पहले पेशेंट का चीख ही आना चाहिए. You should listen the cry of patient. You should listen the cry of different diseases. If it is a murmur, this should be the sound. If it is regurgitation, this should be the sound. If it's a Batika patient, this should be the joint sound. These all way you should unfold yourselves. हाथ काम किया तो फर्स्ट काम मेडिसिन बनाने का काम करना चाहिए, without which you cannot success to your missions. So this is the mission number 1. Take the oath. And coming to the next, mission number 2. When you are entering into the systems, you should think about the distillating the essence of Ayurveda. So what do you mean by distillating essence of the Ayurveda? Referring to the Sutrasana 11, there are 4 protocols: Krisi, Vanijya, Rajoposeva, and next is that is Pasupalanam. So they are the 4 ways to earn money. Because without money, Lakshmi nahi to kuch bhi nahi. So without money, now how you can earn money? So if you go today to any accredited, NABH accredited Ayurvedic hospitals, Bamana cost is 5,000, Virechana cost is 5,000. Do our country is ready to afford these things? Do each and every citizens of India is able to afford 5,000 for Bamana procedures? If no, then get up. Just receive it as a challenge. अपना पुराना मस्किटो नेट ले लीजिए, उसको डाल दीजिए, पुराना गैस का पाइप ले लीजिए, उसको कनेक्ट कीजिए, पंचकर्म का सारे प्रोसीजर्स उसके हिसाब से यू जस्ट मेक ए जुगाड़ कंपनी. So Tesla company, biggest jugaad company, you start to do such variety of company here in the Ayurveda. Evenings in front of your college, there might be a thela of some bhajia and all. You start to make Ayurvedic thela in front of your Ayurvedic college. So at the evening 7 o'clock, everybody can come to that thela to take Ayurvedic chapati, to take Ayurvedic kara, to take Ayurvedic medicines. So there are a lot of things to do. You can do so many things to earn the money. A patient of Bisarpa is coming with some neuralgic pain. Take out 10 ml of blood from the area. Instant relief to the pain it will be. Do the advertisement. Do take all this name with your name. Take all this credit to your college. Now the world is expecting to do or to work in that way only. रास्ते के साइड में जितना जगह है वो सारे खेती करो, मेडिसिनल प्लांट का खेती करो, and instantly appoint all these people who are having no money, not even for the daily routine. So nobody can deny that poverty is still a big problem to our country. So this way we can serve, we can connect to so many people, and that could be a real message of Prime Ministers, that is Sabka Saath Sabka Vikas. So this is how we can grow with the Ayurveda. What should be our missions? So next mission number 3. That is how we can think about the medicines and different retail of Ayurvedic or herbal products. So Nirgundi Patra Pinda Sweda, best painkiller. Do advertisement. And that Nirgundi Patra make available in the retail shops. And that could be a resilient retail shop for the global supply chain. That is deficiency. So we know because Nirgundi is very easily available, so don't think about it. But we don't think the area of somewhere Nirgundi is not available, but the painkiller is available. So people are taking painkillers. So why not we are availing the Nirgundi Patra well available throughout the country, not throughout the country, even to the globe. So forget about the global chain. I will speak about 150,000 numbers of wellness center in our country. Whether we are connected to those all wellness centers? If not, then get up, do these works. So that is the Churna Kriya. One medicine use with the juice of the same medicines, fortify the potency of that drugs, and we can use. So need of growing ecosystems in the startup or the bilateral agenda still need to work against the antibiotic resiliency. Our healthcare systems need to unfold and bridge a community, bridge in between the health systems and the community. It's so many works is needed even for the Indian Association of Palliative Medicines, which is, we are searching for the good quality medicines with affordable finance. That is the next missions to work. And the mission number 4, actually I seen Pawan Sarma sir here during my joining. He was here. I don't know whether he is here now. So I took his names. He is recently awarded with Greenwich. You can see the international world record. So international world record for what? That is by arranging highest numbers of international webinars during this 1 year of course. So matter is that search the customers. What variety of work you are fit to, you can do. So you just imagine a system you have to activate in your house, and you can connect to all different resource persons. You can be a pioneer of international world record. So you can receive these things. You can work for that. This is on one single man. So sometimes we feel that, मैं अकेला क्या कर सकता हूँ? So many works he did. Only one single person designed so many numbers of international webinar for which his name is suggested. His name recorded as a international book of world records for arranging the highest numbers of webinars. So one person make the community. That is व्यक्ति समाज का बनाता है. So one oath, and I am requesting just one oath. So all these students should consult about how one person can bring the changes to the society. So you can have the next missions. That is how we can amalgamate the latest technology into the teaching. So students entrepreneurships. Sometimes we think, doctor बनने के बाद सोचता हूँ. No, now only. So the students, each and every student should be entrepreneurs of many such things. So why not we are thinking about the mobile extraction machines. सुबह उठ के जैसे मोबाइल वैन घूमता रहता है, जैसे ट्रॉली घूमता रहता है, जैसे ठेला घूमता रहता है, ऐसे आपका मोबाइल वैन घूमता रहेगा with all these machineries. So unwanted plants are there. You can collect those, you can extract the juice, you can extract the oil, and you can connect to the industry. Think about such startups. Those can help to a maximum extent to the system of medicines. There is the opportunities, and government is still searching of such variety of skill management within the students. And earlier days, there was no industry. The university itself working for all those jobs. Guru के बात पर सुन के शिष्य सब कुछ करता था. So university was the pioneer of changing the society up to its expected levels. Therefore, I am also sincerely requesting to you all that you are the students, you can bring changes, and taking such very small startup plannings from these beginning periods too. Mission number 6, there is a need for the skill developments. There is a need of so many numbers of leach and leach applications. Leach you can export. The varieties of leach whatever are available in our soil is a world-class leach. So you can do the leach cultivations, you can export it, you can think about the exporters, because leach is useful in so many range of diseases you can go through it, which are strictly treated by the surgical treatment by your friend. जिस 2 मार्क के लिए आप यहाँ आयुर्वेद कॉलेज में माथा ठोकते रहोगे कि मैं कहाँ आ गया, इसी 2 मार्क पाके वो लोग स्मार्टनेस के साथ 5 बरस में निकलेंगे. और because you are losing each and every day without doing all these works, आप तब किसी पतली गली से निकल जाओगे ऐसा सोचोगे. So इससे पहले that you should go for a negative thought, जागो ग्राहक जागो. So not only the leech cultivations, you can think about the snake cultivations. It is well available in our state of Odisha, in Ganjam district. It is well available in Calcutta. It is also well available in Kerala. So these 3 states are officially doing this snake cultivations. Not for the Jew and all. It is for the purpose of collecting the snake venoms and treating the emergency diseases. So who told that Ayurveda medicines don't have emergency medicines? Because we are not working that angles. That's why Ayurveda medicines don't have an emergency kit. So developing the emergency kit, also a skill development, also a startup programs, also designing some app for that. Who can collect the snake venom? Who can put into the industry? Who can make into the medicines in the system of Ayurveda? And coming to the next missions, sometimes medicine fail because we are searching all solutions without the inside the physical ingredient. No, sometimes non-physical things also work. So go to the plant, and by embracing the plant, we can transfer the energy from the plant to the patient. So each and every Ayurvedic colleges should have a medicinal plant garden for this purpose of transferring energy from the plant to the human being. And your college is blessed that it is within the forest. So it's your chance that you go to the forest, select some 10 plants, जैसे plant का गोद लेने का, बच्चा का गोद लेते हैं plant का गोद लेने का, and you call that plant that I will send my patient tomorrow, transfer the energy to my patient. This is such a beautiful science, because you may wonder what rubbish things this resource person is speaking. Of course, Dr. Bishnupriya is speaking this concept. Why? Because we know, we believe that except 5% energy, rest 95% energy you cannot measure. Gravitational force, electromagnetic force, so sun force, those variety of energy only you can measure. There are immense amount of immeasurable energy are there in the surroundings, and we should learn how to take the concept of bionts from the atmospheres. That's the energy. The concept of directly conscious energy from the plant to the human beings can be transferred. So those are the things expecting you to work. So you can be the, just think who are the customer and how you can bridge the customer relationship to your patient. The next things, the non-physical medicines, all the traditions and cultures. So I took the dance from the traditions because it was in the olden civilizations, they did not take the physical medicine too much because they exposed to this all dance program, etc. So it is not the dance itself. It is actually the physical exercise. Can you give me an example of sports persons जिसका पेट लंबा होगा? नहीं होगा, because they are doing their physical works. It is proportionate to the food. But if not, so see the market opportunity, that what are the things I can do. So at your house, it's a start some programs of dance, start some programs of sports, treating the obesity, even to the infertility and etc. Without which the patient may have less developed muscles, and especially in the ladies' cases, where the society, the doctors in the society compelling or propagating more or encouraging more numbers of Caesarian delivery to earn the money. So instead, if we can encourage the ladies for such variety of traditional things of dance and all, then except few ladies like some anatomical improportionate, or we can say the anatomical bone size and all, the anatomical size less size in the pelvic effacement and all, rest ladies should go under normal delivery. Encouraging the Caesarian delivery, first wrong is that the lady will have a catishula or backache in her elder age. Second wrong things, the baby will not have breast milk proper. And third important concept is that when the baby expelled from the mother's canal, that is most dirty area when the baby exposed in the beginning life. And that exposition is actually kick the immune systems. That is the laboratory of immunity, what we forget about. So unfolding such concepts, it helps to give the breast milk to the children. So it's a blessings to the children, right, to get the breast milk. So instead, we are working some other way by putting the vaccination and all. Because you can think about the breast milk, you can think about the coconut oil, you can think about the coconut juice that have the sodium monolerate. That chemical is same to the immunoglobulins. How do we understand these things? Instead, we encourage some other milk, some other oil, and we attracted towards the media advertisement and all. So this is our missions. Then how we can encourage? We can make a group, WhatsApp group of the all pregnant lady. Pre-pregnancy counseling should be, pre-conceptual counseling should be, pre-marriage counseling should be, how our next generation will be protected by the medicines of Ayurveda. So why not we are working such projects? So there are 3 projects now we are getting. Pre-marital counseling. Atulya Gotriya marriage. हमारा book कहता है, our textbook Charak Samhita Sarira Sthana, 2nd chapter, Atulya Gotriya. Marriage should be now Atulya Gotriya, which protect the immunity, which protect the next generations from suffering with the diseases. So our mission also should be for the designing of different apps through which we can pass the message of cell gene therapy, that cells are responsible because of the gene within, and gene are not just genetic concepts that always exposed to the environment, and that's the concept of epigenetics, what we should introduce. And not only to introduce, we should collect the digital record for those. So you are in a very far place of our country. I am in a very regional place to our country. We should be interconnected, and the Zoom is more blessed, giving blessings to us that we are interconnecting to each other. And I will definitely thankful to your principal, ma'am. So she is making a bridge within these 2 colleges to pass these messages, that how we can introduce the digital record, how we can introduce the medical device, how we can introduce the power of artificial intelligence, The health tourism at the state of Goa could pass a message to the state of Odisha, and there will be a good bridge of transforming those knowledge. The new therapy, new medicines, new diagnostic tools, those all could be passed through the data science and data analysis. And all the new beginners of the Ayurveda have those powers of handling the digital data and digital technology. And not only this, we can say here in Goa, we have a concept of tourism. In your place in Paikmar, you can develop an ashram itself. So in the ashram, you can develop ashram for the treatment of obesity, ashram for the treatment of diabetes. So many metabolic diseases are there which can be treated only under the supervision of physicians. It's not as a transaction gaya bank mein transaction kiya mota aadmi patla ho gaya. It never happens. So you give the Bamana inspiration, instantly 3-4 kg reduces, and after 3-4 days it again regain. So there are so many things zigzag in the system of medicines, and what to be followed under the ashram itself, under the a group of people. आपको अकेला दौड़ना है, बहुत दूर तक आप दौड़ सकते हैं, but देर तक दौड़ना है. Sustainable running, sustainable impact of the medicines only expected in the ashram itself, only expected under the patient, treated under the physicians directly. So the personalized medicines, the wellness centers, the algorithm behind the prescription writings. When one patient exposed to 10 Ayurvedic physicians, the prescription writing is different from one to another. I agree, it should be different. But in some few cases, critical conditions are there, that is there. Rather, we can make algorithms and we can design one app. The diagnostic procedures will be very faster. Or when Ayush, we have a very less resource persons. In the resource person in the sense, the working persons in our Ayush system of medicines. So by developing those apps, we can make the solutions there, not only in the medicines and hospitals, even in that education side of Ayurveda. So there should be an app for sloka recitation, app for the mock test, app for the preparations of different entrance and UPSC exam, etc. So those all are the missions we can work over. This is one missions, that the missions should not be always small. So a very bright and big mission could be like achieving Nobel awards. So Azad Swatantra, we are celebrating the Azadi Mahotsava. So Azadi Mahotsava, one statement I like to share here, that aphasia, or it was written in Charaksana Sutrasthana 16 as Swabhav Parambada, that give a Nobel award to their biological scientist. Why not one Ayurvedic graduate upgrade himself up to that level of biological science and can achieve the Nobel awards? Even you can see Tulsi Gowda from Karnataka received the Padma Shri award just by planting the plants in the forest. Nobody will claim that is my land. So there is need of binocular visions to upgrade this science and to bring the best applications of Ayurveda itself. We all know Surya, for the god Surya, we made the Konarka temples. Little see the natures, how we can bring the Surya Siddhanta, how we can bring the air for the use. Have you ever seen during 12 o'clock night anybody celebrate birthday? Any creatures, any monkey, crow, etc.? No, because they understand the Surya is the whole source to do the digestions or to ignite the Agni. So those things we human being never understands. So that way we can make a consciousness, or we can pass this message to the peoples, that how we can check the natures and we can develop our consciousness. So the very next slide that I kept for how we can make our own replica. So when I understand what the different energy as enforcing within my systems, and I can able to control them, so I can able to resize them, so I can able to receive those, then that is the biggest versions or biggest awakenings of individual persons to do or to work for the Ayurveda. So next mission number 15, that here the health is designed as a physical, mental, social well-beings. What do you mean by well-beings? At the morning when you get up from the bed, you will ask to somebody, am I healthy? I should go to the work, yes or not? Or you go to the laboratory to check the parameters. Is it the real message of health? Because Ayurveda never teaches such variety of message. Ayurveda teaches us katham sarire dhatunam vaisamyam na bhaveti iti. That each and every moment, each and every tissue is exposed to the vaisamyata, either buddhi or kshaya. No samyata is the definition of health. So it is such a wrong concept. Actually, we built in our system of medicines, and therefore the seesaw to be maintained. That is Alexander Sutra 12. Where Dhatu resiliency has written. Those of Vaisamata might be, but there will be no disease. Unless and until Dhatu will maintain the resiliency, disease cannot settle within the systems. Therefore, we have to search something from the environment, something from the food and all, how we can make a good bridge to the tissue and the food or medicines applied into the systems. Therefore, there is millets. So why millets? Because millets takes very less water, very less time to yield. And rice take more water. So this some area of our country have less amount of waters. And therefore, millets are more good to the health. I can take the examples of jean. So jean kapda pehna aaj ka fashion ban gaya. Do you believe that jean industry ke liye 20% water pollutions in the world are there? So why not we are thinking that sun is here? We are not meant for jean. This area is not meant for the jean cloth. So it is yasya desasya jojanta tajjam tata usadam hitam. We should try, we should work for local to vocals. So why not we are upgrading the peoples around to us? Wherever we are thinking or searching the medicines within the medicinal plant available around to us. So we have to think about it. So clean those all wrong things like the Namami Gange project. So we should think that how we can take the peoples into the system of Ayurveda, the peoples who are taking the benefit, give the benefit to them, treat their disease and counsel them to work for the Ayurveda. So let more peoples to love Ayurveda for all these such variety of reasons. Mission number 8 is that actually who is a patient? So answer is the doctor is a patient, because doctor is not realizing the things that without your presence, more peoples get benefited during COVID-19. Now you can ask why I'm asking like so. Because you are speaking RT-PCR negative, sorry, RT-PCR positive, but still you are not a COVID-19 patient. You are speaking that even though Montague's test is positive, but he is not a tuberculosis patient. You are speaking HIV positive, but you are not an AIDS patient. So even though you are free from COVID-19, are you free from disease? Because we are actually not thinking that what is the concept and message of Arogyata. So during menopausal age, a lady getting wet, more getting wet during menopausal age, you cannot treat by giving all the principles of obesity. It is just not by the principle of Kshaya Siddhanta. So kuch kam mat karo wahan, ulta kuch de dijiye. As I told, by adding we have to do the subtractions. So you apply vitamin D there. Faster the patient will lose the weight, because that deficiency leading towards the decreased amount of estrogens, decreased amount of testosterone, decreased amount of thyroid hormones, and therefore he is not losing weight. So a case of PCOD, we are treating the case of PCOD, but we are not thinking the hormone behind it. We are not thinking that linked with the obesity, linked with the sugar value, linked with the insulin. Insulin itself is sufficient to catch all the sugar, to catch all the fat, and therefore after a one day fastings, in the second day, the next day, we may have these all. Now, when we start to take waters, the water make a bond with glucose and fat, and more water we need to take. So many things are there to work as taking as missions. So we are working for Ayushman Bhava. So that times we also think that how we can work for it. So the milk is reaching at the early mornings. There is a cring bell, and we are getting the milk packet. We can also think about the Ayush Kada. The Ayush Kada can be supplied, and it can be reached to each and every person who are seeking the Ayush Kada from us. We can think about the emergency kit box itself. So there is many a times Ayurveda claim for the emergency treatment. So we can develop about it. We can think about it, and there are so many chances of making emergency sachets. So when handling the Aswasa patient, that times the nebulizer is there, but the chemicals, instead of chemicals, we can think to put our own medicines in terms of the emergency sachet forms, which will dissolve faster, which can help us to receive the faster result there. So many such idea are there to input inside the inside our Ayurveda practice. And very next concept that is, if Ayurveda, if our country is first in crop yieldings, first in all the chemical suppliers and medicines, fourth in soldiers capacity, sixth in finance and economy, then where we are? Where that all glory are there? We cannot sit with these past glorifications. We have to unfold those things. So it is needed to see the or understand the root inside the tree. Fruits and flowers are well executed because they are outside well executed. Therefore, the roots are very deep into the soil. So we have to realize those deepest concepts of Ayurveda itself. So that is, globalization of Ayurveda might be or not, but let the land of Paikmal, the Ayurveda, to be thrown there. The globe will look into that area by unfolding and decoding those concepts of Ayurveda. So it is not just to apply the medicines and the concepts. It is to transform our life into the next form of our life. That's why I took some examples. That is how a Sudra Ratnakara become Valmiki, or so many big personalities are there too. And if at all some people are not understanding, still then do a mock test of death. So it's my message or plan that every institution or organization should have a mock test of death at least once in a month, so that people should conscious the value of life and conscious the responsibility what to do, because sa vidya yaha vimuktaye. So wahi vidya hai jo mukti ka marg dikhata hai. So how the mukti marg can be brought into the system